the first episode of the Engaging Marketeer podcast. I am absolutely delighted you've joined me. I really appreciate that. We're going to be talking a lot over these podcasts about digital marketing, business, film, finance, how to get businesses started, how to get film started, how to do better with your marketing, your business, your online presence, your offline presence, and to get more out of your business and earn more and essentially work a lot less. Because let's face it, nobody wants to be working hard and be the poorest or the richest man in the cemetery, as they say. But this first episode, I am going to be talking about the big elephant in the room when it comes to digital marketing, and that's the thing that I hear a lot people say: doesn't Google hate SEO? Doesn't Google hate SEO? And it infuriates me when I hear that, because in some ways, yeah, it's true. Google does hate SEO, but it hates the SEO that people do that is unethical, that is dodgy, that is bad, that doesn't work, that hinders your website. You know the down and dirty, nasty tricks that people in my industry have coined over the years to essentially cheat, to game the system, to get an unethical advantage that they shouldn't have for a website that has no business ranking where they've got it ranking in the first instance. But before I go into that, a brief introduction. My name's Darren, as you probably know because my name is on the podcast. I co-started a digital marketing agency back in 2009 in the UK, and we have been helping clients both locally, nationally, and internationally ever since. Our largest client is based in New York, but we have clients as close as just over the road from where we're based right now. So we help clients all over the world, but I've been in the digital marketing industry a lot longer than that. I was the web designer, the in-house web designer for game stores back in the early 2000s, and even before that, my first websites, my first foray into search marketing was in the late 90s. So the previous century. I've been in this industry since the last century, which is a ridiculously long time, and it makes me feel unbelievably old. I was actually talking to one of the guys that we have working for us now, who's only slightly older than my eldest son. The day we hire somebody younger than my eldest son is the day I officially get slippers and a pipe. But he's slightly older than my eldest son. And I was talking to him about Google PageRank, which anybody in our industry knows. It used to be the be-all and end-all round about sort of mid-2000s to like 2009, 2010, that sort of thing. And when Google updated its PageRank, everybody got really excited about whether you got a higher rank or a lower rank. And I was talking to him about Google PageRank, and he had no idea what it was, which made me feel impossibly old. But back to the point. Does Google hate SEO? I hear this all the time. And the long and short of it is that no, Google does not hate SEO, because what does SEO mean in itself? Search engine optimization. You optimize a website for search engines. So the purpose of it is to make your website easier for a search engine, i.e. Google, to index it, to find the information that it's looking for, and to list it in Google's index where it deems it relevant and necessary to do so. Why would Google not like that? Why would Google not want you to help it index your website? It's nonsensical. And in fact, Google provides tools to help you do this. Google Console, formerly Google Webmaster Tools, its specific focus is to help you with the SEO of your website, to help you troubleshoot the errors that you may find, to help you get the pages that you want to be indexed, to help you with your Google Core Web Vitals, which is a very technical thing we're going to go into in a later podcast. So don't worry about that right now. I'm not going to get all nerdy on you. But everything within Google Console, which is a free tool that you can access and set up with your website, doesn't cost you a penny. It's fairly simple to do, integrates directly with Google Analytics, so you haven't even got to install anything on your website to use it. It's very simple to look at, and it will give you some vital information on whether your website has done something dodgy or has a problem or has some sort of indexing issue. So the whole thing there is to help your website rank better. Google gives you these tools. It wants you to do SEO because it wants you to help it index your website. Because let me explain what Google's motivations are here. Google has long since had should we call it an ethos? Should we call it a statement, a mission statement, or even a vision of don't be evil? That's what it used to say, don't be evil. Don't do things that you shouldn't be doing. But Google's real reason for being, Google's real mission statement, and I hope Google's not listening right now because please don't penalize me for this, Google's real plan is to make shitloads of money. That's what Google wants, to make shitloads of money. It wants to make so much money they can literally climb into a big tower like Scrooge McDuck, dive into it and swim through it. That's what Google wants. And the only way Google is going to get that is with Google Ads. That's where the bulk of its revenue comes from, Google Ads. People spending money on PPC. And people spend money on PPC on Google Ads because they get results. Because their target customers, their target clients, use Google to find what they're looking for. And then they see their PPC ads, they click on them, they go through to their websites and they buy their products or they download their lead magnets or join their mailing lists or inquire to use their services, whatever it is that you're promoting on PPC. That would not happen if when people were searching on Google, they didn't find what they were looking for. If they didn't find what they were looking for, they'd go and use something like Yahoo or Bing. Can you imagine? Bing. Yeah, they'd use something like that. But they don't use Yahoo and they don't use Bing, they use Google. And they use Google because it works and they find what they are looking for. Therefore, Google's very happy because it earns billions and billions of dollars in ad revenue. But the only way people are going to find what they're looking for is if Google gives them the right information, which would be your website. And the only way Google is going to be able to give them your website, if your website has the best information, is if you help it, which is where SEO comes in. It's about helping Google to index your website, to find the information on your website, to find the most relevant content that answers somebody's search query, somebody who's looking for what it is that you have. That's what SEO is. So why would Google hate that? It wouldn't. It helps it make shitloads of money. No, what Google hates is the bad SEO, the dodgy SEO. The SEO done by these unethical people who want to find a cheap, quick, fast, easy route to the top of the rankings. And over the years, over the past 25 years, Jesus, Mother Christ, it's been 25 years. Over the past 25 years, I've been... Bloody hell, I feel really old. I'm having an existential moment right now. I'm not going to say it again. Over the long time that I've been in this industry doing this stuff, there have been many, many different ways that people have found to cheat, essentially, to cheat. Like I remember back in, when was it, 99, 2000, somewhere around then, there was something called web rings. Web rings. Anybody old enough in my industry to remember that, I'll be going, oh yeah, I remember those. Anybody like Jonathan, who works for us, who's like 23, won't have a clue what that is, because that was a long, long time before he was born. But web rings, the idea being that there's a website with a little box on it that's part of a web ring, and then you click on it and it goes to another website that's in the web ring, and then it goes to another website that's in the web ring, and all these websites all link to each other because links are an important part of Google. The more websites you have linking to you, the more high quality websites you have linking to you, the more votes you have that Google says, oh, all these websites think you're important, therefore you must be important, so we're going to rank you a little higher. So web rings came out. And there were web rings for particular industries. You could have web rings for, say, science fiction, or web rings for sport, or web rings for books and literature, or web rings for construction. And all these websites all linking to each other. And, you know, it worked, because obviously it's websites linking to each other. Obviously it's going to have an impact. Google's going to see it. It's going to increase rankings. But, of course, that quickly started to not work when Google realized that, oh, right, they're doing this, are they? Right, well, we're gonna alter our algorithm, and we're going to filter that out and stop that crap from happening. And then came the reciprocal links. where you get website A links to website B and website B links to website A. Hey, we're doing each other a favor. Look, we're linking to each other. Isn't that fabulous? And that worked for a short while, and then Google stamped that out because obviously that's just linking for the sake of trying to increase rankings. There's no other benefit other than, oh, look, I want to rank a bit higher in Google. And then somebody thought, oh, do you know what? What if we had a three-way? Not in the sexual way. A three-way linking. So website A linked to website B linked to website C, and website C linked to website A. So there's no reciprocal linking going on, but there is a three-way linking going on, so we're all getting a good quality link. And that worked for a while, until Google found out that they were doing that and stamped that out as well. So essentially, there have been a lot of attempts over the years to manipulate Google's rankings, to cheat, to use what isn't really SEO but has been thrown under the SEO banner for evil, for which is Google says it doesn't want people to do, it doesn't want it to do, it doesn't want anybody to do, to cheat, to manipulate rankings, to do things the fast way. If you use a Star Wars metaphor, it would be the dark side, the quick and easy path. And that's what people were doing. That is what Google hates. The dodgy stuff. Other things would include hidden text on websites. Oh, look, I need loads of text on my website for it to rank. I don't want to have lots of text on my website because it's ugly. I just want images, so I'm going to make my text the same color as the background of the website. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, Google's onto that as well, I'm afraid. Google's onto that as well. But for a while, that would have worked. And then there was a really, really nasty one. There was a company that I ended up working for this company in Cardiff, and they were using a digital marketing agency up in Manchester. And I won't say the name of them because I think they are still going. But they were doing probably the most unethical thing I'd ever seen in my life. And this is one of those SEO things that Google hates. But at the time, it worked. On our website, one day, I came into work, because I was the web designer. I came into work, and there was loads of text all over the front page of the website. We didn't know where it came from. Loads of text about holiday cottages in Devon. And one was I think it was a casino in Stockport, with lots of big paragraphs about these holiday cottages and this casino, and then links to it. And the owner of the business is like, what the bloody hell did that come from? What's that text on my website? What's been going on there? What have you put on there? I haven't touched it. I haven't touched your website. I haven't done anything to it. I've just got in and seen it like this. Let me have a look at it. Let me see what's going on. And sure enough, that text had been on there for a couple of years. But it was hidden. It was hidden with a style sheet. A style sheet that said display left minus 2,000 pixels, which essentially means display that text off the screen to the left so no one can see it. So all that text was there, it was just off the screen. So when you're looking at the website on your computer, in your Internet Explorer or your Opera or your Firefox, if Firefox even existed back then, not even sure if it did, when you're looking at it, the text is displayed off the screen to the left, so it's not there, you can't see it. But if you look at the code, it's there. If Google looks at it, it's there. But one day this text just suddenly appeared on the front page of the website, linking to these other websites. And then when you click through to these other websites, they've also got this spammy text on their website as well. And one of them was linking back to ours. What the hell is this? And what had happened was the style sheet that was hiding this content was being pulled by this SEO company's website, from their website, this Manchester-based SEO company. But their website had gone down. Their server had gone down. So the style sheet wasn't loading. So this style sheet that told it to display minus 2,000 pixels off to the left wasn't there, which meant it was just displaying on the website with no hidden stuff. So what this company had been doing was all of its clients it had taken on for SEO, for digital marketing, every single one, it was using them to house spam text linking to all of their other clients. So our company website was linking to dozens of other websites, and all of these websites were linking to dozens of other websites, and they were charging us and every other client for the privilege of using our website as a spam link farm, in effect, linking to loads of websites. And that is the absolute epitome of black hat, dodgy SEO that is extremely unethical and will get your website into some serious shit. That's the type of SEO Google doesn't like, because you shouldn't be doing it. And this company should never have been doing it in the first place. They were essentially scamming their clients by using their own websites as link farms and charging them for the privilege. That's the kind of SEO that Google doesn't like. So when people say, I heard Google doesn't like SEO, or I know Google doesn't like SEO because it was on my website and my website doesn't work anymore, it's because what they're doing is dodgy. What they're doing is unethical. What they're doing is against Google's terms of service. The SEO that Google does like is the SEO that you should be doing. Helping Google to index your website, to index your content, to find the information that is on your website, that should be on your website, that your potential clients and customers are looking for. That is good SEO. That is the SEO that you want. So thank you for listening. Apologies for the slight rant that went off at a tangent. I can't promise that I won't do that again. In fact, I can promise that I almost certainly will do that again. I've been Darren Jamieson. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please give me a subscribe. I'd love for you to follow me on whatever channel you're watching this on right now. And if you could leave me a glowing 5-star review, that would be fantastic. I would really appreciate it. And I will catch you on the next podcast. Thank you.